Hey, welcome to, what is it, 2021 growing season. So here we go. I got my reused pots here from last season. I'm going to use these to start my seeds in, and I think I'm going to put a piece of plexiglass over it until they sprout. I don't have a greenhouse, although I could use a tabletop greenhouse here to work in this area. That would be quite nice. I might look into that. I just had my rain barrel installed, and it is already full after 1 day's worth of rain. I'm excited about this, like ice cold water, but it's cool. And I also installed this recently. This is a decking system, which are these squares which can be, you know, checkerboard, or you can just lay them like this. From IKEA. It's a decking system which kind of clips together. The concrete under here had little cracks in it, and it was unsightly, so I decided to put this down this year. And there was a weird shape that was left behind, which I filled in with chipped marble, which it works. It helps with drainage, and I like this flooring. I think it'd be quite nice to gray, contrasting that green of the warmer weathers. I put this in last year. This was a turf. It's an Astro Turf, which it looks like grass, but it's not grass, and it helps absorb moisture. It stays green. I've tried growing grass here many times before with no success. Under here, I have like a little cistern type thing, which collects water, which runs down this path here. It used to collect here, but it runs in here. I'll talk about that in another video, but that's kind of cool. Over here, well, right here, this pot here is a fiberglass pot that I've tried everything, and even strawberries, but thanks to the squirrels, I'll never do that again. Got these delightful pansies I planted on that first 70-degree day. I forget what these are called, but if I can get out the sun, they're quite lovely. And I popped this little evergreen bush here in there, and that'll stay like that for the springtime. Maybe once the pansies are done, I'll put some what do they call it, nasturtium in there, and let that take me into midsummer. Right over here we have hostas, and this is, if you can see it, lemon balm and an azalea bush back there. There's some evergreen stuff that grows here. There's lemon balm here, which seeded itself over here. Lemon balm takes over, but it can only go so far here, so I don't really care. I have hosta plants that are under here in a U-shaped fashion. That's a Karen azalea bush, a little small one. These are two red sand cherry bushes, which have beautiful pink flowers in the springtime, and red leaves from spring, summer into fall. Those are some type of lily that comes back. I thought I got rid of them, but they still keep coming back. They rarely puts out a blossom. I think they're buried way too deep, but whatever. That's just a extra pile of soil that I dumped here. The oranges is because the cats have been using this as a litter box, and I heard that cats don't like citrus, so I've been throwing some oranges down there, which seems to be working. This is an evergreen bush that I planted here, which it survived the winter. I wanted some greenery here throughout the winter. These are my either Montauk or Shasta daisies. I always forget which one it is, but these were planted last year. I say these because they're second one down there, and I clipped them off, as you can see, and they're doing well. They're you can tap on a plant and pull it a little bit and see how well the roots have taken, and it's pretty solid. So hopefully this really takes over this area and has those late season blossoms, because you know they're like a true daisy, white petals, yellow center, and they're the last thing that puts on a show at the end of the season, which is kind of cool. This is just yard art, so I'll leave it here. I like an eclectic array of things in my yard. I should prop it like that. That's kind of cool. That's a weed. That's a lemon cypress. Yeah, a lemon cypress. Again, shadow. This is I forget. I always forget the name, but this is last year's growth. This is this year's growth, and it should do quite well again. It puts out a nice little stalk of pink flowers, which really hold their color for a long time. This is the other daisy that I was telling you about. Again, these random stones are everywhere that the cats have been using as a litter box, but yeah, hopefully when things grow and they decide to not do that. This is another lemon cypress. This is my apple tree here. Boom. We have this PJM Rhododendron, which is in its winter color, but it's full of blossoms. We have a nice azalea behind that. We have the mondo grass, which is little tufts of this grass here. I planted these at the end of the season last year. This one's not in there that well. This one can stand to be dug a little bit deeper, but the mondo grass, unlike this stuff, which isn't mondo grass, just provides some texture to the garden. There's a Karen azalea, which I planted off the discount rack last year, next to a rhododendron which has died. We have the stone crop here, which there we go. Which I have three. I have one there, and one over there. And stone crop ground cover is cool because it'll spread out and be amongst the stones here, which is quite nice. I also have this pot of seedlings here. I was teaching my my nephew about bonsai, and so we're experimenting right there. We have this rhododendron here, which is doing quite nicely. Nice deep purple winter color, and it'll be a nice bright green with pinky leaves, and only a few weeks from now, which is quite amazing. I have this burning bush here, which kind of like fades into everything in the winter time, but the fall, the foliage is like a bright red, which is why it's called the burning bush. And then if I swing over this way, this is an area that has nothing other than a few miscellaneous items. I need to figure out what I want to do here. I think I want to take this area here and put like a concrete patio, but we shall see. I just planted, I mean today, this quince. It's a double take orange storm quince, thornless variety, and I think it should be quite nice here on this corner here. Behind that is an aster, and then next to that is this rhododendron, or several rhododendrons, which are in their winter color. I have this small space here, which is just coated with sand because I had a paver here. But I want to scrape the sand off, and then in this area, I don't know, but I want something there. Maybe a pot to give it a little height, and then plant something in there. But I'm not quite sure. But along this space here are these, I think these are called asters, I'm not sure. And then they have azaleas. This is a Delaware white azalea, and I keep my tags in here. This is a con Easter, not an aster. Con Easter is 1, 2, 3 of those if you can barely see them, and then there are 2 Delaware white azaleas which I planted last year. These were like $1 off the discount rack, so this is $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 of an investment. And I think once these full in and really take over this area, it should be quite nicely with a little bit of pruning. So I'm excited about that. For a $5 investment, you can't beat that. All right, this is just a little area where the kids come sit and play. Again, don't judge me for my fake grass here. It keeps them clean, and it keeps this area, usable. In this pot here, I have a Weigela, which I'm not quite sure if it lived or not, but we shall see. It's a Weigela, so we shall see. I planted along this wall here, which is just like a retaining wall for my garden bed here. Some more of that red stone crop, which that should be quite nice in here. And anywhere that I didn't plant, I'm going to plant a variety of what is it called? Marigolds, because they are good with pollinators and they keep things you don't want out your garden. So that's a pile of trash that needs to come out. I need to amend the top of the soil a little bit and lighten it up. I'll mix in some garden soil. I have those 3 pots back there, which I'll grow peppers in this year, or maybe potatoes, I'm not sure. This will be my garden area for this year. In these rows here, I'll do more of the marigold. It's not a big area, but it produces quite a bit of produce for me and my family. Again, it's not a big yard, but that's the beauty of it. You have to get really creative. I'm into providing a shadow again, but right here we have a lilac. We have a rose here, which is beautiful rose. We have another climbing rose here, which I don't know if it's going to make it or not. They were planted last year, so hopefully it does. And this was my thyme experiment. I had all this creeping thyme here. Most of it died off, but there's a big clump here which survived. And there's some Irish moss or Spanish moss or African moss or Jamaican moss. I don't know which survived, but this area was just like, an experiment of ground cover. So hopefully the thyme takes over again, because it was very fragrant and a lovely thing here. I planted some Dinosaur Kale in here. Have the bar on there so the cats, of course, does not use it as a litter box. Behind that is Forsythia, which hopefully will grow up and just be some type of like natural fencing here in this area. That's a little low-lying evergreen shrub here, which hopefully will cascade down and just be some type of area over there. Again, that's the yard. It's not a huge space, but it is it is mine's, and any space that shorns, you should do what you want and enjoy it. And I plan on doing that for, what is this, a fifth season here in the city. So again, this year, new rain barrel. I may add another one here, but I don't want to use up too much of my sitting space. We have to use this space wisely, but for now, this one is full, and I'm gonna appreciate using that. I will not use it on my vegetables. I will use it to clean up my hands, or to clean off the table, or to water maybe this area right here. But because of the runoff from the roof, I probably won't use it on my vegetable garden. I'll just use it for flowering things. But for now, that's it. We're 2021. Happy growing.